Survivor's ready. Anybody has a hidden immunity idol and you want to play it, now would be the time to do so.
The queen stays queen.
You said rustle feathers.
Did you do that?
Yeah.
I'm supposed to glamor you. We have ripe bananas all the time.
Dude, my prize isn't even $1 million. My prize was that I fell in love in this game. Love at first sight. Her name is Candace.
You officially go down as the dumbest survivor ever.
Welcome to Not Game, All Personal. Hey, we are a Survivor podcast here to talk about all things Survivor. More specifically, the past 2 episodes of Survivor 49. Maybe more one than the other. I don't know how the balance will be. So don't get your hopes up too much. Do we need to go on a deep dive on Jason? Is that what needs to happen, Tony? I'm Nathan. This is Tony.
I honestly think if there was an episode to miss, it was last week's episode. I think there's maybe one thing I want to talk about last week's episode. Other than that, I'm completely fine with just moving on to this one.
And here's the thing, especially after watching this week's episode, I feel like any storyline that was teased or like the decoy, like, well, if they go to tribal, this will happen. That was fulfilled in this episode as well.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
I think these two pair rather nicely.
Oh, absolutely. Just a perfect couple of episodes to just slap together and go for it.
Yeah, so I guess we'll go for it. Yeah, what do we got to say about Jason? Why do I keep... I'm saying his name and I'm still forgetting his name. Poor guy. He deserves more, but all I know about him is that he was an alternate, right? Is that his like legacy on this show?
Yeah, and I think they kind of intentionally didn't go too in depth with him just because, like, all right, he's not one of the players that we need to really worry about. Like, he's a ghost super deep, so whatever. I don't know if I have anything on him. I was curious about the decision to... Well, I was curious about this before watching the episode from yesterday, but curious about the decision to take him out as opposed to taking that shot at Jawan and going after their own tribe a little bit. And like, I don't know, I'm just curious in that situation, do you make that same decision and get rid of Jason, or would you opt to get rid of somebody on your own side?
You know, I do think there is a world where keeping Jason wouldn't have been the worst, especially because it would have just trim off some of the extra pieces on your alliance. I think the problem in that situation, though, is that would have evened you out to a 5-5. Mm-hmm. So I think that's still a little risky because it's not like you have the clear advantage. And I think you also have to look at it from who is it that you're keeping. And I think, at least for like Savannah's case, like she expressed concern about Jason, just of his lack of wanting to, discuss game with people. It seemed like he was very set, like, no, I'm good, whatever. And so like, I think if it was anyone else, it might have been more of a conversation, perhaps if it's like MC or Steven or someone who is like more active like that you actually have a relationship with, but it feels like Jason just didn't. So it was like, we don't have any reason to keep you over Jawan, who is actually working with us.
Yeah, I think the person that he is the only thing, you're right, that like solidifies it for sure. But I do think there's something, like you said, that it would be risky to put them down to 5-5. I think I'd rather go down to 5-5 than be a clear 6-4 and total in the game 6-6, where you are full 6 strong. Like that's a scary thing for everybody else in the game, and everybody else in the game is going to want to come for you at that point. And so there's a part of me that's like, do we trim the fat on our team, the side that we aren't sure about, maybe the people that we aren't as sure about, just to make it so that we aren't an easy target to just everybody's against Uli, everybody's against this original Red Tribe. Mm-hmm. That would be my only pushback, I think. But yeah, it's one of those things where you got to at least play the game a little bit. Like, there's no expectation that you're going to flip sides, but for Jason, there's no expectation that he's going to flip sides to this other tribe. At least make it seem like you're interested. Like, at least try to pull the wool over their eyes a little bit. They won't believe you, but just actively saying, no, there's no option, then there's no voice in the back of their head that's like, oh, maybe we should keep him. So I think he buried himself for sure, but I was very, I don't know. I was kind of on the other side where I was like, man, I don't know if that's the right decision. I would have maybe trimmed the fat so that like, yeah, I want to lower my threat level as much as I can, and being on a group of 6 that's dominating the season doesn't feel like the way to do that. And also, like, if you get to that final 6, you're saying that with your 6, you got to hope that you're the best of that 6, because like you probably have some strong players that you're gonna have to go against. So weakening your side just feels like, I don't know, it would have been my move, I think.
I think it also, like with this situation, it feels rather obvious that Jawan is the bottom. And I think it's rather obvious that he doesn't know that. So I think like if you are, because like who else? It was Savannah and Rizzo. Were they the only ones? And Nate as well. So those 3 would have been the ones in on that decision.
Yeah.
But I think for them, getting rid of Jawan, to me, that's like an easy like merge move, because then like no one's going to be upset about that. So like
Yeah.
on a vote like this, like that's where I'm saying like when you get to the merge and you do keep the person who is saying like, hey, I'm not working with you, I'm going to keep with my original tribe. Not directly saying that, but that's kind of what Jason was laying down. So I think like it makes sense at the time. Like I agree, like you're not going to want to stick out 6 strong all the way until the end. And obviously our information on this week's episode changes what we're saying too. But
Yeah.
ignoring that, like pretending like we only knew what we knew last week, like I don't think their plan was ever to stay 6 forever. I think it was just like Jawan is someone that we can literally drop whenever, at any point. Even if we lose again, like let's say we vote out Jason, our tribe stays the same, we can just do Jawan, easy, So like I think that's kind of like where their head was at. But I agree, like with you, in a vacuum where those factors aren't as prevalent, it would make a little sense to like cut someone early on.
Yeah, like almost the game theory side of me is like, oh, you should have done this, but then there's only so much that like all of these theories and ideas of like numbers and everything can do. But once you're there, yeah, it was probably the right move to get rid of Jason, especially considering what happened this week. But even in what happened, like in that moment, that was probably the right move. I just was hoping for something a little more exciting, but
I know.
it was just leading up to this week, so that I don't mind it because of that.
Yeah, well, this week was interesting, and I guess we'll just talk immediately about the tribe that went to tribal, because that was like the merging of like multiple storylines. Because I think you had the Jawan situation come up, where the people like he wasn't on every. What am I trying to say? He didn't overlap with anyone on this new tribe this week from last week, right? So like the people that were considering voting him out, Savannah, Rizzo, Nate, they weren't on his tribe this time. But yet he was still the option of like, should we cut him now? Which is very funny, which is again kind of like, okay, I think everyone's on the same page. He's going to be the first of that group to go. So like you had that storyline continue, and then also, which is like, the big climactic ending that has been teased for several weeks now, the Sage versus Shannon battle. So it was
we originally thought it was gonna be Sage versus Savannah, but it ended up being Sage versus Shannon. Like that was interesting. At least that's what I originally thought when it was first discussed.
Yeah, well, and I think we talked about it a little bit because it was Shannon almost like inserting herself into that. Because if you remember, Sage originally trusted Shannon and was like, hey, Savannah looks like she's going to be a threat. And then Shannon had this confessional where she like made the calculated decision to be like, I'm going to tell Savannah this and like hitch myself to her for the game. And that just turned out to be a wrong decision because ever since that moment, she has just been on Sage's radar, and unfortunate for her, Sage has followed her on every tribe since, and just kept it
constantly
going.
plotting her downfall. Constantly. Yeah. I was so excited because like the other 2 tribes, first of all, I think a person that I really like on both those tribes would have gone home. So that I like that this is the one that went to tribal, but also this is definitely the most interesting because there was a point where 3 different people were being talked about going home And yeah, that's always fun when everybody has a different plan. It's like, all right, what's gonna win out here? What's gonna be the move here?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just Sage just fit. I don't know if it's like the out, like just being out there, you just get more irritable. But she had it out for Shannon big time, and like really wanted her out of there, and like kind of saw. And I want to be clear, I'm here for it. I enjoyed Sage in this episode. A little nasty at points, like a little like, all right, take it easy. Like, you don't have to be that. You don't have to make
Yeah.
faces at the camera every chance you get. Like we get it. You're not a fan. But it was a lot of fun, especially because Shannon was just so blissfully unaware that that was happening. She thought that her blind side was happening and had no idea that was coming.
Yeah, I do think that like it probably just like triggers something in her. Like there's something about Shannon specifically, and I think like she did mention this, how like Shannon just seems to like naturally like attract people, you know, like with her personality, or she's able to like blend in or kind of like form her personality around whoever she's with. And like that is a skill. Like that is something I think we all do to a certain extent. And I think
Yeah.
Sage like rightfully admitted like I don't have that, you know, like I can't help but like be who I am, and some people just don't like that. And like that does suck, especially in a game of Survivor where like
Yeah.
Shannon probably has the more natural ability. Now the difference is Shannon just didn't have quite the game sense to like read what was actually going on. But yeah, I think it's like a very interesting dynamic where like it makes perfect sense why Sage would like feel threatened by a personality like that. But yeah, I mean, she just like was never gonna let up, and again, like she really like it really felt like her tribe last week, which had no overlapping members, would have voted her Shannon out as well, and now this week. Oh, actually, wait, I lied. I think was Steven on that tribe too? Yeah, Steven was with them too. Okay, so maybe that worked. Maybe she planted seeds early on to you know, because like there was that moment where
Sage
Shannon.
planted seeds, you mean?
Yeah.
Okay, just making sure I'm tracking with you.
Yeah, because there was a moment last week where like it was Steven and who else was on that tribe? Alex. It was Steven and Alex that like approached
Yeah.
Sage, and that's when it kind of all like thank you. I've been noticing Shannon.
Yeah.
Finally, someone talked. So like that probably helped a lot. So Steven kind of had like 2 weeks of Sage in his ear about Shannon.
Yeah, that'll affect your perception. I'm sure. I'm sure
Yeah.
that'll do it. Shannon's such an interesting player because, like, I feel like so much of the narrative, and maybe this wasn't the narrative, maybe it's just who she is, but so much of it, like, the way that she interacted and bonded with people seemed to come from like spirituality and like faith in a lot of ways. Do you think, I'm curious, just because I've been thinking about this, do you think that she was being like intentionally manipulative with that, or do you think that's just the person she is where she tries to find like that like I guess I wonder if I could put it in the same category as like Coach, where he like felt like he really used religion, and whether or not that was intentional or not, I'm not sure. He definitely seems to he probably holds to that it wasn't, but I'm curious with her, it seemed like she naturally did that, and it never in her confessionals felt like she was like, "Oh, I'm playing this up." But I'm curious, where do you think you would fall on that?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely don't think it's the same level of Coach, if that's the
Yeah.
question. But
She wasn't holding hands
I
and leading prayers and being like,
Yeah,
"Give us this win, help us find this idol
It's
that's in my pocket."
I think
That's crazy
it's
that he did that.
probably. Oh, it's very crazy. Yeah,
That's
it is.
crazy. I
It is
forgot the time.
absurd. I mean, it was
Oh,
like it was a
Lord.
cult. It was like actually a
Yeah,
cult.
yeah.
No, I think for her, it probably is just like natural, and I think there's probably a moment where it's like what is how do you define manipulation, right? Because it's like if I bond with you over like we have this personal connection, like we're both parents, we both come from the same occupation. Okay, I'm gonna talk to you about this because I want to get close to you. Like, is that manipulation? Like maybe it's probably like a thin line, especially in the game of Survivor. So like, I think she is probably, at least, okay, assuming the best in her, she probably like is a religious person, and
Yeah.
connecting with other people who share that, she probably wanted to do that like outside the game, but then also the fact that it helps your game is a bonus, you know, or and maybe it's vice versa. Maybe she saw this as like this helps my game, and it's also nice that we have this connection, you know. I don't know like if it matters like too much in the end. I don't think that makes her insincere though, you know, and I think that's
Yeah.
like the key. I think if that is honestly who you are, and maybe you're exaggerating it because it could also help you. Like I wouldn't define that as manipulation. I think just like in Sage's situation, you don't know Shannon outside the game, so it's like who's to
Yeah.
say what is what?
Yeah, that's absolutely fair. And it's hard to like put on like, oh, this was your motivation, or like, oh, you're actually a bad person because you're doing this. It's just it's so interesting, and it's something that I've been just thinking about, like how that impacts the game, and how Sage read that. She very clearly read that as like, oh, she's intentionally being manipulative with this.
Yeah.
Or she's just good at it, I guess, maybe. But yeah, just an interesting thing, and I think such a big part of the way that Shannon plays the game. That yeah.
Yeah, and I think it's also like that's just I think a great example how Survivor like is a representation of like social relationships in the real life as well, you know, because it's like I do the same thing. Like if I want to get to know someone better, I am going to find our connecting point, and
Yeah.
maybe like so now when I'm with this person, this side of me is going to come out more, you know, whether it be like reality TV or sports or you know religion, whatever it may be. Like you know, and I don't see anything wrong with that. Like, am I trying
Yeah.
to like gain favor with that person? Perhaps, but like,
Sure.
you know, who cares? Like,
Yeah. I think it's just hard, and this isn't saying it's bad, but it's hard because religion is such like a impactful and deep thing for so many people, that it being included in that conversation, like, oh, I'm a Christian, but also I believe in, or I love the NBA, like I love basketball, and like using those as two different connecting points, it feels worse to use, maybe worse to use religion as like a connecting point, because that could create a deeper bond and feel more manipulative. But I mean, that's the
yeah,
game. It is what it is. I don't think she did anything dishonest, or I don't think there's anything to tell us that she did anything dishonest or like was too much of
yeah. I mean, if it
which, on the
comes
other
out
hand,
that
was
like
clear.
she
But
just
yeah,
is
just
like if it comes out she's just a complete atheist, then yeah, she's probably a not great
that'd be
person. You
crazy.
know, that would be
That'd be
crazy. But
crazy.
like,
All in. That would be hilarious.
that's like that's the situation where I'd be like, okay, you crossed the line.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Anything else about Shannon, or should we talk more about her tribe dynamic? Here, okay. Here's the tough thing I think about
Yeah.
our discussion here is, I believe the Earn the Merge is going to be next week, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So I think like it's going to be hard to dissect the tribes that we saw last night because almost none of that will matter. What's going to like
Yeah.
matter is like the conversations that were maybe started that could continue on, but like
Mm-hmm.
you know, the like no combination of those people are going to go to tribal and only them.
I think both tribes, though, there was like something that was gleaned in the conversations that they have, whether they realized things about each other, or what that looks like, or at least just the way that they interacted in potentially the future. So we can take like potential cues of what it'll look like in the future. But
All right, let's
yeah,
frame
I
it like
agree.
that
There's
then.
not much.
So then
Yeah.
from the tribe that did go to tribal,
Yep.
we have left Jawan, Steven, and Sage. What an odd trio. Probably not going to stick together long term, right?
Nah, I think they're gonna run the show.
Do you think they like grew this bond being at tribal together and now they're going to like carry it with them?
I don't think it'd be going to tribal necessarily. I think Steven, like, he did vote with them and they did save him. I mean, it was more to get rid of Shannon than to save him, but they still did that. And so there might be some work, they might work together in the future. I wonder if Jawan will feel very indebted to Sage for saving him there and for choosing him over Shannon.
Yeah.
Because it feels like he should, but also that once again was not, the intent was not to save Jawan, it was to get rid of Shannon. Like
Yeah.
the things that were done were not to like save a person, they were to get rid of a person. And so I wonder how he's going to see that. from what I've seen from Jawan, he doesn't have the best reads of the game, and so I imagine he'll see that as like, oh, me and Sage are number ones. We're gonna ride this out. I don't know if that's where Sage is at.
Well, and the interesting thing is like Sage was also on the bottom of her original alliance. Like it was her and Jawan that were not in that
Mhm.
4-person alliance. I think the
Mhm.
difference is Sage realized that, and that's what kind of started this snowball effect of like talking to Shannon and like, you know, blah 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 blah. Now not talking to Shannon. So like it's going to be interesting to
Mhm.
see if now that Shannon's gone, does she go back and remember like, wait, I wasn't in this alliance though. You know, like Rizzo and Nate, like they didn't talk game with me. So there's a chance like she might get closer to Jawan and even Steven, who she's been on a tribe with now for like 3 weeks. So I don't know, like there could be something there, or like she could be the one to maybe flip over because like I don't see her as someone that's going to be like loyal to her original tribe.
No, I don't think so either. It's just will the other try like yeah, she may be kind of one o I just she has a natural ability to like talk to her and that's part of the reason for Shannon. I is it's probably to just be that extra vote and fit in where she can. I don't think she's gonna get like this. She's gonna be able to ride that to the end. That's the game for her.
Mm-hmm.
That works. That works.
Wait, how do I get back to recording? Oh, we're back. Okay, cool. That was it. All right, a little technical difficulty. I think we're good now. Um, yeah, I mean, I don't know what other tribe you want to go to next. We could.
I don't think I have
I don't know.
like a ton for either, but we can go. We can do whichever one you're feeling.
Let's talk about I don't know, the yellow one, I guess. Which
I don't know that I have anything for Hina actually. Now that I look
Okay.
at it,
I think my only thing is I feel like the bond between Rizzo and Savannah is getting stronger, and
for sure.
I'm not surprised that we will be seeing them again.
Yeah, I will say that like I think currently there's comfortably probably like 3 or 4 players that I am more interested in seeing than those two though,
Hmm.
which is interesting.
Yeah.
Like
Well.
I
Uh huh.
Savannah maybe more so than Rizzo. She's probably higher up than he is, but like, not that I dislike the guy, but I just I don't know. I haven't seen much yet that they haven't. Have they either of them gone to tribal? They have, right?
Twice.
Yeah, but they just voted out the 2 Hina people, so
Yeah,
that's
I mean,
interesting.
like something's gonna happen. Like it has to, right? Like we
Yeah,
can't
it
just be
has to.
going off
Yeah.
of his name and being like Rizzo's a good name, let's bring him back. So like I'm sure something's gonna happen where it's like it's gonna be obvious like why they are brought back. But like right now, yeah, it's just kind of like, all right, I guess they're just gonna be on every tribe together for the whole game, which
Mm-hmm.
is a bond, I guess.
Yeah, it'll. I mean, that'll keep you close. That's for sure. I wonder if they're gonna be out sooner rather than later, and it's like we're gonna bring them back to give them another shot because we really liked them and liked their mind for the game. But we'll see.
I just feel like that's not even there though. You know, like I feel like there's still like there
No.
has to be something that's gonna happen
Yeah.
because this isn't even a like second chance worthy level game. You know,
Is anyone playing a second chance worthy game?
not on this season, but I think like there have been people in
Yeah.
previous seasons that
So
have like
okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah, I was gonna say like so far no one has, but I see what you're
no,
saying.
no.
Like everybody usually does, but there's always the rando that's like, why are you bringing this person back?
Yes, I would just I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt and of this whole cast. those two are the ones they chose, so there has to be a reason. That's all that's all I keep telling
All
myself.
right, that's fair. That's very fair. Still a big fan of MC. Just rooting for her.
Yeah, I guess there was stuff with the idol, right? Like she
Oh yeah.
did
Yep.
not tell them who has the idol, even though Steven does, right? Or does she? Or wait, neither of them
I don't know.
do? I thought
She
they
has the
did.
beware. She has the beware, but she hasn't gone to tribal yet, so she hasn't had a chance to look for it.
Oh, that's right. Okay, well, never mind.
Yeah.
Okay, because there was that question, because like everyone knows about Rizzo's idol, and he had a confessional, like kind of talking about that, more in the sense of like he's okay with that being out there, which I guess like you have to be at this point because it's just out there.
Mm-hmm. What do you think of her telling him
um,
like that?
I don't know. Like, what other choice do you have at that point?
Yeah.
Like,
And you have to try to gain some goodwill, and that's a way to do it, I suppose.
yeah, yeah. It's just like this weird. Again, we're going to this new era style of like advantages are just out there, and I'm still not sure how I feel about it because it feels like it hasn't helped evolve the game that much. Like it'd be one thing if like this new meta of like let me just put myself out there, everyone knows what I have, like would
Mm-hmm.
lead to interesting things happening, but like it just doesn't. So I'm just kind of like, oh, here we go again. I guess idols aren't gonna really come into play this season.
Yeah, let's hope that people don't just get voted out with them in their pockets constantly again. But that's just what happens when the people in power are the ones that are finding them.
Uh-huh.
Also, I saw Sophie. She found the knowledge is power. That's another thing that happened there, and that's a
That's
really
right.
powerful thing when everybody knows where idols are.
That's true. Lil OP.
That's now we don't need to get into the philosophy of that.
Not today. We'll save it.
Yeah, I just wonder, like, is the beware advantage worth it when it means public idols? I don't know.
Yeah.
Like that just seems to be a fact of them is that they're always going to cause public idols, but we
Yeah.
don't need to dig into that today.
All
The other
right.
tribe, the Uli
Let's-
tribe.
Yeah. This one is a little more interesting, perhaps. I don't know. You feel like it feels like you had a take on it, or at least
I don't know,
some
so-
observation of dynamics here that I might not have.
I feel like there's two things that happened. I feel like Nate tried to lie about what happened on the tribe before, and like I mean, you don't have to do that, but I can understand why he did that. But they saw through it immediately. But also, like, yeah, that's one of those things where it's like, well, yeah, he's definitely lying to us about that, but you understand why he's lying to us, so whatever. And then there was the Sophie Christina thing where I think Sophie was being put forward as the fake like vote out, and she was upset about what happened there? I can't even remember entirely.
No,
it was so
that is what
quick.
happened. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean that was like kind of essentially it. It was like why is it my name that's gonna go out there? Like I realize I'm on the
Mhm.
bottom, which like could lead to something. I think like that level of awareness is better than nothing, but it's still hard to read like what that even means because she is like I think we've seen the least of her compared to anyone else
Yeah.
this season.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all.
Was
I
that
mean,
the?
that's Sophie.
Oh,
I don't know.
I felt
Do
like,
you want-
I think we've seen the
want me to-
least of her, and then I was like expecting you to go into something, and you didn't. So that was
There's
on me.
not there. That's the end of it. Like, what do you want me to go into
Yeah.
with her?
which is why, first of all, I'm a fan of Nate and a fan of MC, and so I didn't want either of them to go home. And it felt like if either of those tribes went to tribal, that was the only logical conclusion. Because I don't like, yeah, Sophie was like, I don't love my name being the fake one. I don't think there was going to be anything to change that, and I don't think Nate was going to be able to convince them. Now, MC finding the idol would have potentially been interesting because we could have even had a double idol play if they were convinced that after she played it. But
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad that we
Yeah.
got what we got, and now we have the merge next week, and so I like the second swap. I missed that. That was fun, switching to just the tribes of 4. But 4, I don't love that number in a tribe a ton.
No, I I almost think like you should have done this sooner.
Mm,
Because I think my biggest thing is like it'd be nice to have one more week of this.
yeah.
Because, like I said, for the two tribes that didn't go to tribal, those dynamics don't change a ton because you haven't been like tested of like, will we lose? Will we, like they won, so the game talk can slow down at least a little bit for some of them,
Hmm.
which isn't ideal. Um, yeah. Do we want to just like try to map out like where people are now then before the merge? Because I think
Sure.
like the interesting thing is that we have had two original Hina go and one original Yuli since we've started swapping.
Hmm.
And so the original Hina, Matt and Jason, Matt was in that original alliance of four. Jason was not. So I think the question with them is, does the alliance of Steven, MC, and Christina hold up? Do they include Sophie a little bit more than they originally did for numbers? Or does
Hmm.
something new form? Because I think MC and Steven feel like they're going to last. Like they're going to be the duo.
Yeah. Yep.
So do they stay with those people? Or do you think they built stronger bonds elsewhere and they will pull those people in?
Interesting. So I don't think that MC has built many strong bonds beyond that. I feel like she gives me the vibe of like this is my alliance and this is who I'm riding with type of person, not to like be as flexible throughout the game, which isn't a bad thing. Some people play that way. I can't imagine the five Uli members breaking up. So to me, it's gonna be those five against for sure. Well, those five plus Sophie, right?
Well,
That's
okay.
who they would have with them.
I Here's my question though. I don't assume that the five Uli members are going to stick together either though.
Why not?
Well, okay. So we look at that. That four-person alliance included Shannon, who is now gone. So now the three people that were closely working together were Rizzo, Savannah, and Nate. I'm not convinced
Hmm.
that Nate is as close with Rizzo and Savannah. Like to me, like Rizzo and Savannah and Steven and MC are like the polar opposites, right? Of like duos. And Sage
Okay, I can
was
see
gonna
that.
go for Savannah. Like there still is that going on. Shannon was just
True.
in the middle.
True.
So in my mind, I could see Sage and Jawan connecting more with Steven and MC
Mm,
than with Rizzo and Savannah. And Nate, I just like I don't know. Like I don't
interesting.
like Nate's whole thing is like he doesn't connect well with younger people, so it's hard to tell like how glued in he actually is with like Savannah and Rizzo.
His whole thing is that he's great at it and he's learning about vibes and stuff. Thank you very much. Just kidding. Yeah, I wonder if it'll be. I mean, I think unfortunately, I think it's just going to be the easy vote this next one. And now, who would the easy vote be? You said it earlier. Like, is that just Jawan? Is that
Yeah.
I don't know? Is Christina really connected with anybody that much that she wouldn't be just an easy vote to get rid of? Like Sophie. Sophie would be a great, yeah, a great option of people who like don't seem like they're crazy connected with really anybody. Or is it just Sage for voting out Shannon? Like, I don't think so, but that's definitely on the table. So I think I think that the lines are going to be blurry for a couple votes. And I like you
Mm-hmm.
at first I was like, "Oh, they're obviously going to stick to these tribal lines, but maybe not. Maybe that'll divide up a little bit." But people always I'm just spill like word vomit now, but people always resort to what feels comfortable and feels the most safe, and I think that is those original tribal lines. Unless somebody has a reason not to, I think that's where they'll retreat for the most part.
Here's my prediction, and I kind of said it in a way. I think it's going to be Steven and MC. I think they are gonna pull in potentially Christina, but then also Jawan and Sage because I don't think the other three Yuli members are going to be happy about them turning on Shannon.
Yeah.
I don't. So I think that's going to be a side, and perhaps Alex is with them because Alex was on a tribe with Sage, Christina, MC, and Steven. So there could still be a bond there.
Alex to me is comfortably the biggest wild card
Mm-hmm.
because he's been on a tribe with most of these people. And so
Yes.
the only people that he hasn't really, I think, is what, Jawan, Rizzo, Savannah.
Correct.
Other than that, he's been on a tribe with everybody, I think. And so like, and I guess that's the other side. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see where he falls because I don't think that he's just gonna default to like, oh, I've been around these people. I mean, yeah, that's the easy thing to do. That's a comfortable thing to do. So maybe he will do that. But
Well, my
yeah, I feel
prediction
like
is
he's gonna
like
keep his options open for
him
sure.
and Sophie are not gonna come back around. That's my biggest prediction.
You don't
because
think that they're gonna link back up?
I don't think so because it's not like they had a
Okay.
strong bond to begin with, other than like going to tribal so many times. And so
How many of those did they vote together? I wonder. I'm gonna look.
I mean most of them, but like you have to remember the situations, right? Like the
Yeah.
one situation was Alex taking the bullet and like, okay, fine, I'll get rid of Annie, even though I really want to work with an older female. And then Sophie's
Yeah.
whole thing was she wanted Alex out so she could work with Jake. And then Jake got medically evacuated. So it was really only like the Jeremiah that the
And
two
she was
of them.
bullied into taking out Jeremiah. Yeah, because of the idol.
Yeah. So in my mind, the fact that she has been
Fair.
with Rizzo and Savannah the past 2 weeks, I think they have a good enough pull that just might be a solid 3. And then,
Mhm.
assuming like Nate is still with them, and then I think you might see like Sophie jump over there because she just doesn't really have anyone, and I think she knows that. So I think that's like my biggest prediction. I think like you're gonna have a core of Savannah, Rizzo, and Sophie, and then you're gonna have a core of Steven, MC, and like I said, perhaps Sage, perhaps I don't know who else. And like those two sides are gonna be opposite sides, and some of these other people might just filter in and out depending on when it best serves them.
Or we get a power quad. I didn't like that. Of Steven, MC, and Rizzo and Savannah. And then those 4 just run the show.
We could. I mean, the problem is like just none of those people have like been together
Yeah, they've
other
never
than
played together.
MC. Well, MC was with Rizzo and Savannah for this one try, but like nothing really happened
But
from
it's
it. It
late
didn't
enough
feel like
that
it was
they're
going well.
arm's length. Yeah.
Yes.
No reason.
So I don't know. I think this next episode is going to be fun. Look forward to my mergatory rant. I've been practicing overtime.
Oh, my nephew wanted me to pass along that not everybody enjoys that because you said everybody looks forward to it, and he wanted to be clear that's not true. I'm not saying not
that's
to
funny.
do it, but I just he asked me to pass that along, and so I'm doing what I was asked.
So he enjoys it. He's just saying not everyone does.
That's what it seemed like to me.
Okay.
Yeah, he's a big
All right.
fan.
Well, if you're
He's a
listening,
big
nephew, I got it just for you. All right. I got the good old mergatory rant up in the chamber, ready to go.
Maybe go a little long for him.
Should we just have a bonus episode of just
you
talking
by
about-
yourself? Like I'm not even on it. That would be really funny.
just a compilation of the past 8 seasons of me talking about this issue?
Yeah.
And
that
why
would be
why
really good.
why semantics matter to me in the game of Survivor.
You spent at least 45 minutes complaining about it.
Okay. I just want to be clear. You cannot spin this as in I'm the only one that feels this way. You feel the same
No.
way. You just need to play this part that you pretend like you don't.
All right, I won't go that far, but sure. I've never said a take that I don't believe. I'm always intellectually honest on this podcast.
Am I? Have I? No, I've definitely said a take I don't agree with.
I mean, so do I, but that was the never mind.
Yeah, well, I'm just more honest about my dishonesty, so I don't know what to tell you.
Oh, yeah, so hey, remember when one of your people got voted out before any of my people?
Yeah, I guess we should end on that because here's the thing.
I
I'm
wanted
not.
you to know that I didn't forget that.
No. That's fair. I I am not hurt about that at all. Like this is perfectly fine because she was my last pick.
Yeah,
Were there better options? Yes, obviously, duh. Okay, there are clearly better options now. But
we
like,
each took people that fight to see, like, one of us was going to be right and that person was going to go far. We both took that risk, I think, because I took
mhm.
Sage last as well.
Yeah, so like I did not draft her thinking that she was gonna go to the end. The other three I have, I'm much more confident on. She was just like boom. And the fact that like she went 3 episodes after we drafted, that's already win to me. You know? Like this
Oh,
is
yeah.
this is the time when some of my people should like at least one of them should be going out, you know? This
What
isn't
if
a
we just had the
Thomas
final 7?
situation. This isn't a yeah, I mean we might, you know? We
I
might.
believe.
All right. Anything else?
Nope, that's all I got.
Great. Well, thanks for hanging, everyone. That season's gonna pick up. I can feel it. Next week's a big one. This is where it
The big
matters.
one.
All
Yeah.
right. For more
Remember when Jeff got out of
episodes.
breath?
He did. It's so hot. This is. It's so hot,
It
Tony.
seems pretty
How
hot.
do you?
Seems quite hot.
Christina had to sit down because they swapped tribes. That's how hot it is.
Hey, sometimes you just gotta have a sit.
That's what I'm gonna do when I'm done recording this. For more
I'm
episodes,
already doing it.
visit notgameoutpersonal.com. We're on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, anywhere listed podcasts. Follow us on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, YouTube at NGAPpod. That's at NGAPpod. I'm Nathan. This is Tony, and we will see you next week.
2 pals, 17 seasons, 1 podcast.